It is day 9 of Broncos training camp, which means it's day 9 of our Broncos training camp report here on Orange and Blue today. Cecil, Lammy, Andrew, Mason. And Mace, how would you describe today? Not a walkthrough, a long practice, not a padded, just like, what was today in your eyes, just as an overview? Because they got San Francisco coming up, so I didn't think we'd see that much today, and I thought we saw way more than I initially thought.
Honestly, I thought it was really spirited. Even though they didn't have pads on, it was more than I expected. It was almost like the day off gave them a bit more pep in their step. It sort of started with the one-on-one period. You had divided into 3 areas. You had receivers, corners, you had safeties, tight ends, and you had linebackers, running backs, and it was not quite battle royale, but that's where it seemed to start. And there were some interesting moments there, and some really, I'd say, encouraging moments overall, like Pat Bryant beating Pat Surtain, and you'll be able to watch the interview that I had with Pat Bryant on our Twitter channel tonight, doing so with some things he learned from Pat Surtain. Like, he's been picking the brains of the defensive backs, and he talks about some of the things he's learned specifically from PS2. I thought this was a really good day for Jahdae Barron, and in the one-on-one period, Barron got the better of Courtland Sutton. Barron's days have been getting better and better and better throughout camp. Like, he's been ascending. And I know there were some people who were probably a little worried, fretting a little bit early in camp. I think he's on the rise now. Things are settling in for him.
Yeah, it's a rookie. Yeah. It's going to take a little time.
Yeah. So, there are some encouraging signs there. The offense, I thought, did get going and get better. It closed strong. It closed strong in the move the ball period at the end. It did in the team periods. It did take a little bit to get going. It was clunky. The first team was clunky early, but got going later. And I think the clunkiness, is on your mind a little bit, Cease.
The clunkiness is definitely on my mind, especially with Court and Bo. You know, the chemistry they built last year, and there are new wrinkles, so maybe it's that. Mm. But Court not turning around on a deep pass that would have been, what would you have that as a score? Or at least close enough, and we're talking team period. But it was that kind of miscommunication and we've seen Court earlier in camp say, I want it up here. Yeah. Bo put it in a different spot. This time, Bo put it in the right spot. Devon Key picked it off, but it was just Court turning the wrong way, essentially. Yeah. So that clunkiness, big day for Justin Sternad. We'll talk about Justin Sternad. I thought he was very impressive, especially backs on backers one-on-one. Yeah. But there was this clunkiness, and I'm like, Court and Bo aren't the ones that should be clunky. And by the way, Riley Moss, did Marvin Mims make your notebook? You see a lot more than I do, but Riley Moss had a great day today. So this clunkiness with the offense, thank God Daniel Jeremiah. For one, thank God for DJ's like the nicest human being ever. If Steve Atwater was a draft analyst, he'd be Daniel Jeremiah, just that sort of human. That's what I think of DJ. Yeah. And he put it out there on Twitter, and I retweeted it of like, hey, it's preseason. Defense is ahead of the offense. But the clunkiness with Court and Bo, I'm not saying it drew my ire, but it's like, I don't want to see that.
I thought it was telling and encouraging, though, that on the next play after that, where it seemed like there was miscommunication, that Bo went back to Court. Mm-hmm. So
different route, but he went back.
Yes. And this was, and that was, I speak about the clunkiness early, and that play was toward the end. It was actually the start of move the ball. So it was 1st and 10, and, and got a little bit of trash talk from the defense after that play.
Yes.
And then 2nd and 10, went right back to Court, got a quick 8 yards, and then they moved the chains on 3rd and short, and then got over it. So, like, I talk about the punch and counter punch. But in this case, it was the mistake and then getting over it and kind of finding their footing and doing so quickly, kind of putting it in the rearview mirror, which is sort of something that's become a hallmark of this team in the last year plus. You think about the Kansas City game last year, for example. They had that tough loss, and they quickly moved past it and played the best game.
Remember what Trout told us?
Yeah.
He said we can't lose it twice.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought that was great.
And I think this team kind of has that mindset, because after that 1st and 10 in that move the ball period, when it just completely off, next play, 8 yards to court, next play, quick little draw moves the chains, next play, and then 2 plays, and then the 2 plays after that, boom, boom, pass. The second one of those was to Court, by the way. So Court's got 2 receptions on this drive, and just like that, bang, bang, they're in field goal range. So you have that, and then you quickly move past that. So for me, my glass, I guess I've got my Broncos glass here filled with water, and there's half the water is about halfway in. And Cease, my glass is half full.
And I would say this, my Mountain Dew
half
is
full,
a little
very
bit
good.
half, and it might be half empty. Maybe it's because I just want more Mountain Dew, but maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have less Mountain Dew. I should work that into the diet as well. But it's just, I didn't want to see it because I knew Marvin was getting taken care of. Pat Bryant was doing some good things, as you mentioned. We got a
Great
ton
day
to
for
get
Pat
to
Bryant.
today.
Great day for Pat Bryant today.
Long practice, but one that felt good as they're preparing for Santa Clara. You will be there. We will definitely have reports for everyone from Santa Clara, from you. So we'll get all that in. But it was a good day of work. But boy, the offense is having to work. Yeah. They're having to work because this defense was making plays all over.
Adapt or die. This is the cliche of what doesn't kill you is going to make you stronger. And I think if you had there, okay, I'm sort of doing this in real time here. You're getting my rough draft thoughts right now. But there have been past Broncos offenses of recent years that if you threw this defense at them, it would shatter their confidence and they'd be done for. But I think this unit, these players, this quarterback in particular, I think this is going to make them stronger in the long run. But there are some times where it does look a little bit rough because of what they're dealing with. I took Saturday's play, for instance. Like, one thing that I took from that is Bo Nix was under pretty constant pressure, but he didn't look rattled by it. You'd still see him climbing the pocket. You'd see him flushing out. You'd see him still keeping his eyes upfield. He was under pressure, but not daunted by it. And then by the end of the practice, you got in to move the ball. And if not for Troy Franklin dropping it in the end zone on this going down the seam, they end with a touchdown. And then you think today, it really looks shaky early.
I wondered if that was carryover from Saturday. That's what I was thinking as I was watching that.
It could have been. It could have been carryover from Saturday. And you look, and it looks shaky early, and there's the interception. And it was one interception, not two, because on the second one, defense looked like it jumped, the offense jumped. It was, if it were a game and there were officials, whistles would have blown, it wouldn't have happened. So that's why in my notebook there was one pick, not two. But but still, the pick was the pick, and it wasn't a good throw, and it was it was a misfire. It happens, but you look at the arc of the practice, you look at the fact that they did at the end succeed in 2 minutes, and looking at that last drive, like I mentioned, that you did have the drive start with just not being on the same page, and then that combination comes together for 2 connections on that drive to get them into field goal range. So I'm probably more encouraged by the resilience despite what they're facing day in and day out, series in and series out.
It's a big test for sure. And you see some of that clunkiness, sloppiness, whatever you want to say it, during practice. There was an Evan Engram throw because for a while it was Courtland Engram, Dasher Bryant, and Courtland Engram, Dasher Franklin, Courtland Engram, Dasher Bryant. Engram dropped one where he, in my opinion, Mase, he was thinking of running before he secured it.
Yeah.
Because that was going to be wide open spaces. I mean, he had it. He had a step. He had the ball. Pass was on time. I'm getting chills thinking about it. I mean, it was the perfect play. And Engram thought about running before he secured the catch, and he dropped it.
I thought you were going to tell me that he was going to be into the great wide open.
That'd be a better one, because I think I just sang Dixie Chicks.
You did. Or they're just the Chicks now.
The Chicks? Okay. Yeah, I probably should stick with Tom Petty.
Yeah.
I think that fits me better.
I mean, it happens to everybody. You see those you see those open horizons, and you see touchdown, and then whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a special connection, though.
Yeah, it's going to open up. I speak of the horizons and seeing them, and Evan Engram seeing them. It opens up horizons for everybody, because as he gets more involved and defenses start to focus on him, then it opens up the spaces for everybody. Imagine what Marvin Mims Jr. can do if Engram's getting extra attention.
Right.
Look out. Imagine Courtland Sutton in one-on-ones on those 9 balls if the safety is having to focus more on Engram and isn't as focused on Court going down the sideline. I mean, that's what I'm talking about here, about the threat of Engram potentially opening things up. Especially, the thing that is interesting as I'm watching Engram is it's possible we may not be looking at him as an 8 to 9 yard per reception guy. That's something I've started to consider as I watch how he's being used. That he may be a 10 to 11 yards per reception guy.
Yes. I don't like changing my projections. You have to, but like I had him projected for 69 catches, about 700 yards, and about 4 touchdowns. All those numbers I'm going to move up.
Ooh.
and
wow.
I hate that. I mean, again, it's August 4th, but as I've firmly stood on 69 catches,
nice.
700 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, it might be 75 catches, 900 yards, and the red zone, I mean, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. Touchdowns are always the trickiest part to project.
If he's getting 900, who's he taking those yards from?
He's the number 2. I've heard Zach and Phil, and we can talk about this too, Mase, because they're like, they need to find the number 2. I'm like,
maybe he's the number 2.
Yeah, I mean, not really. I don't think they need to find the number 2. What if the number 2 is different all year?
Receiver. So he's taking him from Marvin, maybe, or he's taking him from whoever the wide receiver 3 was going to be.
Sure.
And so maybe you're talking about whoever emerges out of Bryant, Vele, Franklin having a relatively modest total, perhaps. Like 400 yards, perhaps. I mean, we're talking about all these terrific things that those three are doing, and yet there might not be much left for them at the, at the dish when all is said and done, right?
Yeah. I think it might be much ado about nothing if we're like, he's got to be the number 2. Like, no, the number 2 can be, and I'm talking about the number 2 receiver. I think the number 2 weapon is Evan Engram.
Interesting.
So, like, if it's Mims one week and then it's Bryant the next week, we're got to get into Vele because he doesn't look right.
He had a good day on Saturday. It was his best day, but
right.
Didn't stack it. He didn't stack a day
Movement-wise, you've watched Vele move, and you were there when he was the star of OTAs.
Yes.
He missed mandatory. But you go back to those OTA practices that you witnessed and watch him today, and his movement doesn't look the same. In my opinion, and I wasn't there at the OTAs, but for my reference, I'm going on what I know from last year, because of course he wasn't at rookie minicamp. But you saw the OTAs where he was the talk.
Yes.
And it's a little, maybe a little rust, little banged up. I don't know what it is.
The 2 OTAs we saw, he was the most prolific receiver out there. He and Bo Nix were on the same page. And then, of course, he missed minicamp. He was hurt. And remember that week, that was the week we really started talking about Pat Bryant, because Bryant slid into Vele's spot and started basically getting Vele's targets. And it was like, oh, wow. Okay. He's a rookie. There's, a drop here and there, but he's looking pretty good. He's getting more separation than I thought he would. And then when he's not, he's able to make catches in traffic. He's impressive. And then we get to training camp, and it's not that Vele the first week was bad. I mean, he was getting the ball, but it wasn't as dynamic as Bryant or Franklin. Like Franklin, we know, was making splash plays, even though most of those were against the reserves. And Bryant just has this knack for getting open.
I call him clutch. He has the clutch gene.
Yeah. You can't really, you look at the time speed, it's, we know the time speed, we know the numbers, like they don't, it's like whatever, like they don't impress, but then you watch him and it's there. I by the way, I do encourage everybody to watch the full interview with Bryant tonight. He talks a lot about what he picks up from veteran receivers, what he picks up from defensive backs, how he's always picking their brain. Like, this guy really is a sponge. But not just a sponge, like he's always asking questions. And you see him sometimes on the practice field just talking, like he's always kind of quizzing guys for info. Mm-hmm. Like, he's extremely intelligent, and his mind kind of his mind is like going 90 miles an hour in a good way. And he's taking in so much, but he's applying it out there. And when I watch him, the thing I get, Cease, is like, I know on the roster it says R next to his name as a rookie. I don't feel like I'm watching a rookie. And he may end up nudging Vele down the way he's playing right now. That could happen. There's, again, I mean, you have these 3 guys, Franklin, Vele, and Bryant, and they all bring something to the table, but there's not going to be room for all of them to have prominent roles.
Right.
We are going to be talking about at least one of these guys being lost in the shuffle. Maybe even being a game day inactive. Because Trent Sherfield is almost certainly going to get a jersey because he has an extensive special teams role. He's going to be a core 4 special teamer. So he's probably getting a jersey. And I'm not sure they're going to have 6 wide receivers active on game day.
Wouldn't think so.
It's probably going to be 5, which means if they're all healthy, one of those guys isn't getting a jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wild to think about it because Vele had a terrific rookie season. Like I've pointed out, he had the best rookie season for a 7th rounder since Marcus Colston. Colston,
Michael Thomas, Marcus Colston.
Yeah, the Saints guys, right? He had the best since Colston back in 2006. I mean, it's wild to say that. Now, again, it's August 4th. There are 2 preseason games for the regulars, and we know Sean Payton is going to play his regulars in the preseason games, and there are 2 joint practices. So we've got some key data points yet to come. But right now, Vele isn't stacking the days in the way that Pat Bryant and Troy Franklin are stacking days.
Yep.
And this does matter.
And Franklin bouncing back. Franklin's going to have a drop here or there.
Yeah.
But
he bounced back nicely today.
He bounced back today. So we're watching that because it's the aggregate. Sean Payton talked about that with the running backs of like, hey, it's going to be everything. It's the collective. It's the preseason. It's the joint practices. Yeah. It's the practices. Like, it's everything. So with Franklin and all these guys, it's everything. And with Vele, he'd be the guy that I wouldn't give a jersey to today. And I didn't expect to say that 9 days in. Today is training camp day 9. The acclimation days don't count. It's 9 days in, and I never would have thought I would say that.
And it's interesting to say that coming off a Saturday that I thought maybe was the time he turned the corner. Mm-hmm. That he had his best day. And it's like, okay, can you stack? And he did, and it wasn't stacked. It was the other guys making the plays. By the way, you mentioned running back and stacking days. Blake Watson is stacking days right now.
Give me chills, man.
Give me chills. That he had another very good day today.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what he can do as a receiver, no one else can do.
Yeah. And he's like, it's lightning through the hole now. He's becoming more decisive through the hole in the running game. That's something that I think we're actually seeing happen day by day out there, is that he's more confident in how he's reading the hole. And that's getting interesting. Now, of course, today it was no pads. That's, again, to come back to the big data points are going to be joint practice 49ers, preseason game 49ers, joint practice Cardinals, preseason game Cardinals. And then for those guys on the back end of the roster, that Saints game is going to matter as well. I mean, for like Audric Estime and Blake Watson, that Saints game might really matter because it might be, okay, you guys are battling for one spot and this game really might determine it. It might be kind of like those years in the NCAA tournament when you'd have like one of those conference tournaments where they played it at like 7 p.m. on a Sunday night and they do the bracket and like, okay, whoever wins this game has this spot. Right. You don't know who, but the winner of this game is going to be this like 15 seed or whatever. They may well have a roster like and say, okay, well, one of these two, and we'll make the decision after the game.
Yep, gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah,
but stressful if you're one of those young men.
Yeah,
and think about that. And with Vele, we don't yet know if it's something, but if it is Mase, I don't want him to be Vincent Brown. Now, you and I will remember that name. I'll tell the tale quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Vincent Brown was at San Diego State, and I loved him. But he was always one of those guys that, like, he was just athletic enough to make plays in the NFL. And the Chargers got him, I think it was 3rd round. You and I saw him at the Senior Bowl. He was making plays at the Senior Bowl. So it's like, what is this guy? As soon as he got a little something, I don't think it was an ACL. It might have been memory's hazy. But he got a little bit of an injury, and then Vincent Brown didn't have it. He just didn't have it. And he was a player that's like, he could make plays, but as soon as it, and he's not 100%er. I don't want to do the well, it wasn't Leonard Fournette. Who was the 100%er? They always said, like, guys got to be 100% or else he's just not good. So I'm not saying Vincent Brown or Devon Bailey are 100%ers, but there are guys that make it in this league that can make plays. And if they've got a little nagging something, you know what I mean? They're just not the same. And I don't want that for Bailey.
If they have no margin for error, like if just getting to this league required like every ounce that they had, and then they lose just a little bit of something, like from an injury or whatever. I mean, that's that sometimes that can be all it takes if every drop was required just to get that player to this level. And it doesn't take much because the margins at this level are so slim.
Razor thin.
Yeah.
And that competition at wide receiver is hot.
Oh,
I mean, Pat Bryant's getting open against Pat Surtain sometimes.
I mean,
crazy.
Joaquin Davis made a heck of a play today.
He did.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, Joaquin Davis made a heck of a play. Courtney Jackson had that deep he was wide open, and Ellinger
was right in front of me.
Found him. Like
he had to wait. I thought he was fielding a punt.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought it would get. I thought it would get gotten. I thought it was going to get broken up.
Yeah. By the way, with Joaquin Davis, man, it's like Velcro with him when he plucks it. That was against it was Riley Moss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Riley's got length to him, but Joaquin's got ridiculous length, and so Riley's right there on him, and he just basically just outreaches him, and when he gets his arms up, it sticks. Like that's why I say it's like Velcro when he reaches his hands out, and it doesn't matter how far he has to reach, it just sticks in his hands. Like, but I mean, there's talent all the way down the depth chart. I mean, it would not surprise me if every one of these receivers all the way down the depth chart ends up at some point catching passes in the NFL for somebody. Like these are all NFL receivers. I mean, maybe not starters, but all of these guys, even the undrafted guys, these are all NFL receivers.
Yep. Sean Payton doesn't like to see you go somewhere else and make plays for somebody else, but there's a choice.
It's gonna be a nervous 24 hours after the cuts.
Imagine if someone sniffs on Rowan and he's making plays.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Like Newton, Rowan, Courtney Jackson, Joaquin Davis, these guys are doing things almost every day. But you look at their body of work, and these guys are stacking days. All four of them. It's like, I mean, I know I've said like, okay, they may bring 2 to the practice squad. I mean, they may want all 4 on the practice squad.
Practice squad of wide receivers.
I mean, it may be imbalanced, but I'm not. But they may have this team may have a very nervous 24 hours on the waiver wire, waiting to see if guys pass through to put them on the practice squad, especially with those wide receivers. All of these guys, I think they may want to keep around, just to see. But yeah, I mean, Joaquin Davis has some special. He does have some special attributes, though. Like,
just keep him.
Just like, again, like, I mean, again, it's like every day when you see him just like kind of make that, when he made that reach over Riley that was a few of us watching were like, whoa,
that's special.
And you mentioned earlier, Riley Moss had a great day today, and Joaquin just kind of reaches, like, Riley's all over him, he reaches out and over. It's like, oh, whoa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a moment. Now there were for a no pad shells practice, there were a lot of moments today. It was fun. It was a fun watch, even if it wasn't always elegant.
I like an elegant weapon for more. Wait.
Civilized, an elegant
Civilized
weapon
time.
for a more civilized
Civilized
age.
age. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I like that.
Not
Elegant.
as
Great word.
clumsy or random as a blaster.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are all you guys got.
Or no match for a blaster at your side, kid. You don't believe in the Force, do you? Kid, I've been from one side of the galaxy to the other, which is why, I mean, for as up and down as the as episodes 7, 8, and 9 were, the moment when Han Solo says it's true, all of it resonates.
Yes. It does hit.
Yes, it hits you hard when he says that.
Yep. Hey, this Broncos, Joaquin Davis, he's got the Force. That's for sure. And the way I was going to say tractor beam, you said Velcro, but either way, it finds its hands. And reaching around Marvin Mims is one thing. Reaching around Joaquin Davis is quite different.
Yeah.
Incredibly different. And Riley had an A+ day. And I'm of the opinion that Riley Moss is a cornerback 1 somewhere else. He just does a cornerback 2 here because Pat Surtain's best in the league.
That's going to be a interesting conversation a year from now.
It's going to get here fast.
Yep. Marvin Mims Jr., Riley Moss, these conversations are going to be here in 12 months.
Comes from drafting.
Yeah.
Drafting well, having good players on rookie contracts, and those rookie contracts come up, and then it's time to pay.
Yeah. Happens fast. It really does.
Nick Benito, super quick in your opinion, with what Jonah Ellis is doing. Does that change any of the math? I don't think he's Shaq Barrett. I don't think he's an 18-sack guy, but I compared it to it's like having Barrett, and you're just, how does he get playing time?
What it means is if Nick Benito does not want to get it done at a certain price point that would be reasonable at this moment, if Nick Benito says if Nick Benito in his representation says I want to bet on myself, you sort of say, okay, fine, knowing that you've got the franchise tag in your back pocket. That's what I think it does.
Okay.
Because Benito could say that, and if he does say that, okay, I'm gonna bet on myself, knowing that you could go to the Max Crosby tier, and if you go even higher, you go to TJ Watt tier. The Max Crosby tier being $35 million. Like there's 2 tiers above. If he has another 14-sack season, he's at least the Max Crosby tier, maybe even pushing the TJ Watt tier.
Yeah.
And right now, if he were to sign based on 13.5-sack season, that's probably a contract in the neighborhood of the Zach Allen deal, maybe a little bit above that. Maybe it's $27 million a year, maybe 27.5. That's what you'd want to get him at. And it's what you'd want. It takes 2 to make this work. And if Nick says, I want to bet on myself, what can you do?
All right, Mace, go ahead.
Because that's the thing. Now, I mean, could you go higher and say, okay, we want to go, okay, we'll go 30 million. I mean, in theory, you could do that.
Is that enough to get it done, though, if he has another big season?
Yeah, but he may say, no, he may say, look, he and his representation may think, well, if I have another 13.5-sack season, I'm going into my second contract. Sure, I could get Max Crosby money at least.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And again, if you're the Broncos and you know you have these other edge rushers, do you want to pay him $35 million a year right now? It's a fair question.
It's a tough choice.
$35 million a year is $10 million more a year than you're paying the Defensive Player of the Year right now. These are not easy. I mean, you want to keep this thing together, but sometimes you have these tough questions to answer, and I'm glad I don't have to answer them.
Yeah. We just got to talk about them.
Yeah.
And project.
Yeah.
See what they will be. What do you think we'll see tomorrow?
I don't know, but first we should probably check in with our sponsor.
Here we go.
Today's episode of Orange and Blue Today is presented by Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Ramos Law was founded by Dr. Joseph Ramos, an attorney and ER doctor, to provide exceptional care to those injured in accidents. With a unique understanding of both medicine and law, the Ramos Law team is built to fight for you every step of the way. Experience the Ramos Law difference. Contact them today at ramoslaw.com.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good to see you again, my friend. I missed you for those 30 seconds.
It
Although
is,
you were
it
right
is.
there. You were doing the spot.
We can see each other, yeah, and we can see each other at the bottom of the screen. I will say this, full disclosure behind the scenes, we'll pull back the curtain. I was having some technical difficulties, which were pissing me off.
Yeah.
You make my day better, Andrew Mason.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I'm
Make
in a
my
better
day
mood.
better too.
I'm in a better mood.
You seem that way. I think, yeah, you were not happy. You weren't happy about the practice. You weren't happy about the technical difficulties.
Life's too short to be unhappy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's true.
And man, technical stuff it can get under your skin. But what I always tell you, again, we're going way behind the scenes. I always tell you, let's get in our boxes.
Yeah.
We get in these two little boxes. Everyone gets to watch. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, like the one thing that we don't have, there's so much going on with the team that we don't have time to really dive into this. But I know people in the the live comments on YouTube are talking about this. The comment basically saying there are 20 bad owners in this league. That Sean Payton had today. I mean,
yeah.
First of all, that had us afterwards saying, okay, what are the 20? What does he think are the 20?
That's a hefty number, by the way.
Yes. So you're
If
basically
you said
saying
10, you could get to 10.
like you're basically saying 2/3 of the league have bad owners.
Yeah.
That you can't win a championship with 2/3 of the league. I mean, that's wild.
Yeah. And I think New Orleans would be on one of those lists. I may be wrong.
Well,
but
what he believes,
he might believe something different.
he probably believes New Orleans is one of the 12. And understand this, like his definition of it would be, do you give me the resources I need to win?
From Broncos training camp on this
And with New Orleans,
What the heck was that?
it's
Oh, wow.
Andrew Mason on Andrew Mason.
Oh my gosh, that's very meta.
And New Orleans gave him the credit card.
They
so
did.
He
Like,
had the resources.
He never lacked for what he needed to win.
Mm-hmm.
So had all they gave him the resources. They've always had what they needed, and it's always been what do you need? So, and that's the thing. It's not necessarily about having 81 billion dollars of net worth. It's about the commitment. I mean, Pat Bowlen was never the wealthiest owner, but poured everything into trying to win. He would have been one of the dozen. So, like, the Pittsburgh Steelers owners aren't among the wealthiest, but they'd be one of the 12.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers don't even have an owner per se. They'd be one of the 12
Yes.
teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's just all about, it's all about, do they give you the resources to win? I mean, we were kind of going through them, like we were like okay, I think we said like Packers, Steelers, but we said the Cowboys wouldn't be one of them.
No.
And they have great resources, but they just don't do it properly.
Right.
We won. Some may have been, but aren't necessarily anymore. Some maybe weren't, but are. Like the Lions for a long time were not, but I think they probably are now.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's gone to, for when William Clay Ford ran the team, they weren't, but it's passed to different people within the Ford and Firestone family, and now they run the team better. They've become a place where you can win a championship. The Bears are not, for example.
The Jets are not.
Yes, the Jets are not. The Ravens are. The Commanders appear to be becoming that. The Panthers do not appear to be that way.
What about the Giants? because I know that football family is so
Ooh.
revered, but they're conducting business like they have no idea what they're doing. But that is a very revered football family.
Yeah.
So that's a
And
tricky one.
it's a tricky one because for many years they were regarded kind of like the Steelers
Mm-hmm.
and as a gold standard ownership.
But it can go away from you.
And the
Trust the
Broncos,
wrong people.
the Broncos are, and for many years with Pat Bowlen were, but they probably went through a few years there where they were not.
Yes.
That interregnum when they were trying to figure things out. And it was figuring out, is a Bowlen heir going to have the team, blah, 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 and end up in courts and all that. Yeah. When there were a couple of moments when I realized that family was never gonna work itself out with this, and you knew it. A couple of moments that I realized, like, it's the inevitable end is going to be a sale because they are never going to work this out.
Yep. Even with parties on one side Beth was trying to, like, hey, I'll do whatever and I'll hand it over when Carrie's ready or whatever.
Yeah.
And just wasn't going to happen.
I had a chance to kind of bear witness to a couple of things over the years that caused me to realize, like, this is never going to end satisfactorily, and it's only going to end in a sale. It was just a matter of when it happened.
And then to have that group buy it.
Oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because it could have been the Panthers. Like, that's the thing. Just because you have extreme wealth does not mean you succeed. David Tepper is, I think, third or fourth in the NFL in terms of net worth, but does not have a clue how to run an NFL organization. I mean, he actually was a minority partner in the Steelers, so, like, you thought, okay, fine.
He was vetted.
He was vetted. They thought, okay, great, like, he'll do a wonderful job. And it's been chaos from basically the jump. And the Broncos hit the lottery. And you look across the way from where we're standing and watching practice, and you see that facility going up. It's a
blessing.
It is. And what it means is, like, if they do have moments where they're down, I mean, it doesn't, at some point, there will be down years, but they won't stay down. You can have great ownership and have bad seasons, but you don't stay down forever. Eventually you climb back up. You become one of those teams that climbs back up. I mean, I guess a good example would be Tampa Bay. Like, they are a very solidly run organization, but the 2010s did not treat that team kindly. But eventually they got back on their feet. They got the right GM. They put the right guy in there, Tom Brady, for a couple of years, and now they've been able to kind of keep sustaining the success since then. They're one of those places where you could win a championship. They would be one of the 12. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you are always great, and it doesn't necessarily mean you avoid bad seasons. But it means it means you have a chance. It means if you get all the pieces, you can win. Whereas Cincinnati is probably one of those places where, even though you have the great quarterback, the transcendent receiver, are they always destined to fall just short?
I could say the same thing about the Chargers.
Are they always destined to not get it all the way done? I mean, that's actually an interesting thing. We may come back to that comment as the season goes on if the Bengals and Chargers do end up falling short.
Oh, yeah.
Because those are two of the 20 that I think he's talking about.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, anyway. So, yeah, I saw the comments about that, and it's been something I've been thinking about all day.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Especially that number 20.
20. It's that's like nearly 2/3 of the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a mind-blowing number.
Sean Payton has thoughts. That'll be the name of his podcast. All right, Mace, we're getting out of here for today.
Yep.
What can folks do to help us out as we push towards 20,000 subscribers on YouTube?
Like,
Comment,
share,
subscribe.
hit that notification bell.
So that you
Never
miss a vid.
I saw someone say that was cringe.
I saw someone say you got to do the finger wag. So it's just what we do.
Yeah.
It's what we do. He is Andrew Mason. You follow him on all the socials at Mace Denver. I'm at Cecil Lammy saying OBT's BFD. Thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned, and would you please stay frosty,